class, welcome back again. This is Class by Raj teaching for Physics Semester 1, STPM. Today's lesson is about the degree of freedom and the law of equipartition of energy and internal energy of an ideal gas. The learning outcome for today's lesson is to define the degree of freedom of a gas molecule, to identify the number of degree of freedom, to explain the variation in the number of degree of freedom of a diatomic molecule ranging from very low to very high temperature, state and apply the law of equipartition of energy. Here I'm going to teach 9.5 degrees of freedom and law of equipartition of energy. Degrees of freedom. Degree of freedom refer to the number of independent ways a molecule is able to move or acquire kinetic energy. Alright, so let's look at this. Let's draw an axis. Okay. Now, this is a y-axis, this is a x-axis, and this is a z-axis. Now you have a molecule. A molecule can perform three types of motion. Three types of motion. One is called as translation motion. Two is called as rotational motion. And three is called as vibration motion. Okay, so each time a molecule performs any of this motion, it acquires a kinetic energy. Alright, so let's look at translation. Translation stands for, actually it's a linear motion. So when a molecule performs a linear motion, that means it can perform in three axes. It can move linear motion in x-axis, it can move linear motion in y-axis, it can move linear motion in z-axis. So every time whenever it moves linear motion in x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, it acquires a translation kinetic energy. So when a molecule moves straight line x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, so we say that the molecule has 3 degrees of freedom. We say what? It has 3 degrees of freedom because it can move x-axis, it can move y-axis and it can move z-axis. So, degree of freedom is the number of independent ways a molecule can move to acquire a kinetic energy. Now, let's look at the next motion, rotational motion. So, a molecule, it can rotate in x-axis, okay? It can rotate in y-axis, it can rotate in z-axis. So, every time whenever it rotates, it acquires a rotational kinetic energy. Alright, and it can perform a rotational kinetic energy in 3 axes, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So if we can do that, we can say that the molecule has a 3 degree of freedom. It can rotate in x, 1 degree of freedom, it can rotate in y, another degree of freedom, it can rotate in z, another degree of freedom. Okay, vibration motion. Vibration motion, okay, means that the molecule can vibrate up and down in x-axis, up and left, up and down lah, in y-axis and also in z-axis, can vibrate. It depends lah what kind of wave it is, okay? So it's a vibration. It's a vibration class. Okay? So we say that the molecule is experiencing also a kinetic energy, but the kinetic energy is not mentioned in your syllabus. Alright, so here we can say that the molecule can perform 3 degree of freedom: vibration in x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So this is the meaning of degree of freedom. So a molecule, each movement is 1 degree of freedom. Each movement is 1 degree of freedom. Z-axis is 1 degree of freedom. Okay, so let's look at this. A degree of freedom depends on type of molecule and temperature. Okay, let's look at the type of molecule. There are 3 types of molecule, which we have: monoatomic, single atom; diatomic; and we also have polyatomic. Okay, let's look at monoatomic. Okay, so let me draw a monoatomic. Which is a single atom. This is X, Y and Z. Okay, a monoatomic, since it says it depends on temperature. Okay, temperature, we got 3 types. We look at 3 temperature, situation of temperature, not 3 types, 3 situation of temperature: low temperature, room temperature and above 1000 Kelvin. Okay, so monoatomic, low temperature, room temperature or above 1000 Kelvin, it can only have 3 degree of freedom. 3 degree of freedom. And the 3 degree of freedom it can move is, it can only perform translation motion, which is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So monoatomic will have 3 degree of freedom of translation motion, which monoatomic can have, or the molecule of a monoatomic possess only translation kinetic energy. Okay, alright, now let's look at diatomic. Next one is diatomic. Okay, diatomic, alright. Okay, low temperature, a diatomic got 3 degree of freedom. Okay, that means for diatomic, 3 degree of freedom means it can move linear motion x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So it got 3 degree of freedom of a translation motion. That means it possesses translation kinetic energy. Okay, translation kinetic energy. Okay, at room temperature, alright, at room temperature, diatomic will have another 2 degree of freedom. Okay, plus another 2 degree of freedom, where this 2 degree of freedom are rotational motion, which will possess is rotational kinetic energy, RKE, rotational kinetic energy. So at room temperature, the room temperature diatomic can perform another 2 degree of freedom for rotational motion. So maybe X, maybe Y. So total temperature will be 3 plus 2 at room temperature will, total degree of freedom at room temperature will be 3 plus 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So diatomic will have 5 degree of freedom at room temperature. Okay. Now, if the temperature is above 1000 Kelvin. Okay. Above 1000 Kelvin. Alright. Diatomic will have another extra 2 degree of freedom plus another 2 degree of freedom, which is vibrational motion. Okay, so I'm going to put another color here, vibrational, maybe Z axis or X axis. So at 1000 K, diatomic will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 degree of freedom. Okay. Alright. Let's look at polyatomic. Two or more atoms. Sorry, not two. 3 or more atoms. Di is 2. Alright. Okay. So here we have molecules, polyatomic. Alright. Okay. Polyatomic at low temperature. Polyatomic can perform or got 3 degree of freedom. Which is, it can move x-axis, y and z. Linear motion, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. At room temperature, add another 3 degree of freedom. Okay, add another 3 degree of freedom. That means it can rotate, 3 degree of freedom, and this 3 degree of freedom is actually rotational motion. This one is translation. Okay, so rotational motion means x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. So at room temperature, polyatomic has total of 6 degree of freedom at room temperature. So you see, for each atom, the degree of freedom depends on type of molecule and also temperature. Okay, so mono at low temperature it will have 3. Okay, it will have 3. Then at room temperature or high temperature, mono will always maintain 3 degree of freedom. Okay, and this 3 degree of freedom are translation motion, which is a linear motion. That means translation kinetic energy. Okay, now for diatomic and low temperature will have 3 degree of freedom, got 3. Okay, then at room temperature plus another 2 degree of freedom. So room temperature got 5 degree of freedom, which is 3 of translation and 2 of rotational. Okay, and then at above 1000 K, alright, above 1000 K, it will plus another 2 degree of freedom. So altogether, diatomic will have 7 degree of freedom above 1000 K. Okay, alright. So polyatomic, low temperature, 3 degree of freedom, which is the translation motion. And then at room temperature plus another 3. So you have altogether 6. I'm trying to put all my fingers in here. Okay, so at room temperature, polyatomic will have 6 degree of freedom. Alright, so this is what degree of freedom means. Alright, we will look at the book at the moment. Alright, so part 2 will follow. Thank you. Today is part 2. I'm just going to refer on the notes by the book. Degree of freedom refers to the number of independent ways a molecule is able to move or acquire a kinetic energy. So here, number of independent ways. There are 3 ways. Okay? There are how many ways? There are 3 ways. One is linear motion. Another one is rotational motion. Another one is vibrational motion. A molecule is able to move or acquire a kinetic energy. Acquire a kinetic energy shows there are 3 types of kinetic energy. I'm going to write down here, class. Okay, 3 types of kinetic energy. 1, translation or linear lah, but usually we use the word translation. Translational kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy, and vibrational kinetic energy. Okay, so each time it moves, a molecule moves, it will acquire kinetic energy. Alright, okay. Monoatomic molecule has only translation kinetic energy. It only possesses monoatomic as only what? Translation kinetic energy. Its motion can be resolved into 3 independent directions, X, Y, and Z direction. Hence, a monoatomic molecule has 3 degrees of freedom. Monoatomic molecule has 3 degrees of freedom. Because why? A mono can only move linear. X, Y, and Z. Okay, so it only will have 3 degrees of freedom according to this sentence. Okay, alright. Now, figure 9.5b shows a diatomic molecule. A diatomic molecule, it has 3 degrees of freedom because of its translation kinetic energy and 2 degrees of freedom from its rotational kinetic energy about the x-axis and z-axis. Hence, at room temperature, diatomic molecule has 5 degrees of freedom. Okay, this one hasn't associated with temperature yet. Okay, alright. Polyatomic molecule with 3 or more atoms have 3 degrees of freedom. Translation plus 3 degrees of freedom from its rotational kinetic energy. Hence, at room temperature, polyatomic molecule has 6 degrees of freedom. Okay, let's look at mono. Okay, let's look at mono. Monoatomic only got 3 degrees of freedom. Polyatomic at low temperature 3 degrees of freedom. Okay, at room temperature plus another 3 degrees of freedom. DOF. So total at room temperature will be 6 degrees of freedom. Okay, at room temperature. Diatomic, low temperature 3 degrees of freedom. At room temperature plus another 2 degrees of freedom. Okay, then you see here, it says here the degree of freedom of a molecule depend on the temperature. At low temperature, for example 50 K, the rotational kinetic energy of a diatomic molecule is negligible. Hence, it has only 3 degrees of freedom from its translation kinetic energy.
So for a diatomic at low temperature, it only have 3 degree of freedom, which is a translation kinetic energy. Okay, and at room temperature, it will have another 2 degree of freedom, comes from the rotational kinetic energy. Okay, and above 1000 K, the book says, at high temperature, for example 1000 K, vibration kinetic energy of the diatomic molecule becomes significant and contribute to 2 degree of freedom. So plus with another 2 degree of freedom of vibrational motion or kinetic energy. So all together above 1000 K, it will have 3 plus 2 plus 2, which is 7 degree of freedom. Okay. Alright, so that is about degree of freedom. Okay, so I've already explained here. Mono, low temperature, 1, 2, 3. 3 degree of freedom of a translation kinetic energy. Okay, so let me just make a summary of degree of freedom here. Okay, mono. Okay, low temperature, 3 degree of freedom, where this 3 degree of freedom is translation motion, acquire is translation kinetic energy. Diatomic, low temperature, 3 degree of freedom, translation motion, translation kinetic energy is acquired. Okay, room temperature, 3 degree of freedom plus 2 degree of freedom, where 2 degree of freedom is rotational motion, where rotational KE is involved. At above 1000 Kelvin, 3 DOF of translation motion plus 2 DOF of rotational motion plus another 2 DOF of vibration energy is acquired. So altogether 7 degree of freedom. Poly, low, 3 degree of freedom, which translation motion. At room temperature, it will plus another 3 DOF plus another 3 degree of freedom, which is from the rotational motion. So that is it, all about degree of freedom. Each movement will acquire its kinetic energy. Alright, so that is all for today class. Thank you. Hello class, today I'm going to teach you 9.5, law of equipartition of energy. Law of equipartition of energy. Now, law of equipartition means, means equal. Equi stands for the word equal. Comes from the word equal. Partition means part. Separate, part. Okay. Partition means part. Okay. So, law of equal part of energy. That means energy is divided equally. Okay. Energy is divided equally. But the question is, we're going to learn more that when we say the word energy is divided equally, by what? So, we're going to turn to that page. Law of equipartition of energy. Okay, so let's look at this first. Let me teach you first the concept. Alright, I have 3 axes. This is a x-axis, this is a y-axis, and this is a z-axis. Okay, so I have a molecule. I know a molecule can make 3 types of motion, but we are going to concentrate on translation motion. Okay, so we know from the previous lesson, mean translation kinetic energy. Okay, kinetic energy we know equals to 3/2 kT, where K is a Boltzmann constant and T is a absolute temperature. That means temperature must be in Kelvin. Okay, so when we look at this molecule, the word translation refer to linear motion. Okay, translation is actually referring to linear motion. It's another word for linear. Okay, translation is referring to linear motion. So we know a molecule will have 3 independent ways of linear motion. 1, 2 and 3. So therefore, for translation, a molecule can have 3 degree of freedom. 3 degree of freedom. So total degree of freedom for translation is equals to 3. Okay, alright. So that means mean means total degree of freedom. That means 3 degree of freedom. Mean kinetic energy will be 3/2 kT. Okay, so the translation kinetic energy, mean translation kinetic energy for 3 degree of freedom equals to 3/2 kT. That means 1 degree of freedom is equals to, you bring there, you get 1/2 kT. That means each degree of freedom, that means independent way, linear motion, translation, 1 degree of freedom, that means the kinetic energy is 1/2 kT. Here is 1/2 kT and here is 1/2 kT. So the whole entire will be, mean translation kinetic energy will be 3/2 kT. Okay, alright, so energy, okay, which is kinetic energy, for F degree of freedom will be how much? That means it will be F times 1/2 kT. Alright, so the F energy for F degree of freedom will be E equals to F/2 kT. So this is the formula, kinetic energy, F/2 kT. Okay, alright, so this is the lesson. Alright, so let's look at monoatomic. Monoatomic at room temperature. Let's look at example we want to apply. Monoatomic at room temperature or low temperature, it will only have 3 degree of freedom. Okay, so that means total kinetic energy for monoatomic will be 3/2 kT, because 3/2 kT. Diatomic at room temperature got how many degree of freedom? Got 5. So EK equals to F/2 kT. So EK equals to 5/2 kT. Okay. Polyatomic at room temperature got how many degree of freedom? Polyatomic. So polyatomic at room temperature got 6 degree of freedom. So EK equals to F/2 kT. So F is 6. So 6/2 kT equals to 3 kT. So energy of a molecule for polyatomic and room temperature will be 3 kT, not 3 kT. Alright, so let's look at the textbook. This is the textbook. Alright, turn to page 228. The law of equipartition of energy, that means equi stands for what? Equal. Partition means parted, or other word, divided. Divided, okay, check on the spelling, divided, okay, divided, of energy states that the energy of gas molecule in thermal equilibrium is equally divided among the available degree of freedom. Okay, so the law of equipartition of energy says energy is equally divided among their degree of freedom. So they are divided based on their degree of freedom. So the average energy for each degree of freedom is half kT. Okay, where K is a Boltzmann constant and T is a thermodynamic temperature. That means it has to be in Kelvin. Okay, so the energy of a molecule with F degree of freedom, bear in mind that this is actually talking about kinetic energy. Though the kinetic energy of a molecule with F degree of freedom is F over 2 kT. Then they give you an example. So this now we already do this 3 example. Alright. So that is all about law of equipartition of energy. Energy is equally divided among the degree of freedom. So the average energy for each degree of freedom is half kT. So 1 degree of freedom will have half kT. Okay, let me just draw here. 1 degree of freedom, half kT. 2 degree of freedom will be plus lah. Okay, alright. So that is it for today's lesson class. Okay, thank you.
The second learning outcome for today's class is to distinguish between an ideal gas and real gas, to explain the concept of internal energy of an ideal gas, and to derive and use the relationship between the internal energy and the number of degree of freedom.
I'm going to teach you 9.6 internal energy of an ideal gas. Internal energy class is the energy that is possessed by the gas molecule. Internal energy. Okay, internal energy symbol is U, capital U. Okay, alright. So if you have a container and inside the container you have a molecule, so the molecule, that energy that is possessed by the molecule is called as internal energy. Okay, so internal energy can be kinetic energy, and also added will be potential energy. Alright, so before we go to internal energy, let's look at what is ideal gas and real gas. Okay, ideal gas are gas that obeys the gas law. Gas that obeys the gas law. Okay, for all temperature and pressure. But real gas does not obey the gas law completely. Real gas does not obey the gas law. Only at low pressure that real gas obey the gas law. Okay? Alright. So this is the difference between ideal gas and real gas. The first difference, whether they obey the gas law or not. So what is the first difference? It will be real gas does not obey gas law only when pressure is low. Okay, but ideal gas obeys gas law for all temperature and pressure. Okay, so these are the first difference between real gas and ideal gas. Okay, the next difference will be something got to do with internal energy. Okay, what is internal energy, class? Which I've already spoken. Internal energy is consist of the kinetic energy plus the potential energy of a molecule system. Okay, the internal energy of a system, if you see here, I'm just going to first explain here in this piece of sheet paper here. Okay, now internal energy is consists of kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, alright. Okay, so we have ideal gas and we have real gas. Ideal gas and we have real gas. Okay, now in real gas, internal energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. But in ideal gas, internal energy is only kinetic energy, no potential energy. Why? Why no PE? Because of theory kinetic of gases. If you look at theory kinetic of gases, okay, number 5, it says that force between gas molecule are negligible except during collision. That means force between gas molecule are negligible. So because of that, no intermolecule forces. Okay, no intermolecule forces. And when there is no intermolecule forces, that means there is no PE. When there is no PE, then the internal energy is only KE. Okay, so this is number 1. Alright, number 2. Alright, under ideal gas, U is equals to KE. Okay, and we know KE is equals to, from what we have studied before this, it is F over 2 KT. Okay, kinetic energy is F over 2 KT. Okay, so because of that, the internal energy of an ideal gas is F over 2 KT. Now, F over 2 KT is a formula internal energy for one molecule. Okay, so internal energy for one molecule. Now, I substitute F over 2, Boltzmann constant, this is big K, Boltzmann constant is equals to R over Na times with T. T is thermodynamic temperature, okay, which must be in Kelvin. Alright, then we take this whole entire thing, we times with N molecule. So we get the formula N times F over 2 R Na, okay, T. Okay, alright, so this will be N F over 2 R over Na times T. So this will be internal energy for N molecule. Okay, then we remove the Na outside, we bring it outside, so we get N over Na equals to F over 2 RT. Okay, and N over Na we know equals to small n. Then we substitute, we get small n F over 2 RT. Okay, alright, so this is U, internal energy for N molecule. If N is equals to 1, then U is equals to F over 2 RT. So this will be for internal energy for 1 mole. Okay, all right, so I hope you understand that. Okay, let's see what the book has written. Okay, you turn to page 9.229. The internal energy of a system is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of the molecule in the system. The word in the system, that means it's a total of kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, it excludes the kinetic energy and potential energy as a whole. All right. Okay, now this one is an example, right? Let's just look at the example. For example, the internal energy of a cylinder of a gas in a plane flying at a certain height does not include the kinetic energy due to the motion of the plane and the potential energy due to the height of the plane above the ground. Okay, all right. Okay, that's an example, class. What is it they're trying to say? Okay, never mind. I just go to point number 3. You try to understand example number 2, yeah? Okay, the internal energy of an ideal gas consists, internal energy, which is U, of an ideal gas, okay, consists of the kinetic energy of the gas molecule. Okay, U is equals to Ke. Alright, the potential energy of the gas molecule is 0. Potential energy of the gas molecule is 0. PE is 0 because of no force between the molecule. Alright, no intermolecule forces between the molecule, which coincide with the theory kinetic of gases. Okay, then you'll notice they give you the formula, and then they give you the formula U equals to F over 2 RT. U equals to F over 2 RT is the internal energy, okay, for 1 mole. Alright, they give you U equals to F over 2 RT, where F is the degree of freedom. Then this table is internal energy for 1 mole for 3 types of gas, mono, di and poly. And what makes them different is the degree of freedom. Okay, alright, so that is all about internal energy. Alright, let me summar here. There is 2 difference between real gas and ideal gas. The first difference is real gas does not obey gas law and it only obeys when pressure is low. Ideal gas obey gas law for all temperature and pressure. First difference. Second difference will be ideal gas, the internal energy consists only of kinetic energy, and real gas, the internal energy consists of kinetic plus potential. Okay, and these are the way how I prove the formula until I get F over 2 RT. So what your learning outcome wants you to do is distinguish between an ideal gas and a real gas. So you have to know the difference, 2 difference. Explain the correct concept of internal energy of an ideal gas. So this is the concept of the internal energy of an ideal gas, which I've already explained to you. Okay, that U is only consists of Ke because it has no intermolecule forces, so therefore there is no PE. Derive and use the relation between the internal energy and the number of degree of freedom. So you need to know how to derive. So this is how I have already derived for you. I will just send a capture of my notes in the Google Classroom, and later now I'm going to give you questions in how to use the formula. Okay, alright. Okay, so that is all for 9.6. Okay, thank you, class.